Welcome back to My Dad Watches The Bachelor. I'm Meredith, and I'm here with my co-host, my dad.
Hey, Meredith, how you doing?
I'm doing great. We haven't podcasted in like 3 months, so it's good to finally talk to you again. I mean, we don't talk outside of this, so I've really missed you.
That's not totally true. I mean, you do talk to the mom more often than you talk to me, but you did call me on Father's Day. I appreciated that.
Yeah, but I didn't send a card, so I've been told I'm in the doghouse.
Well, we'll deal with that when you come home to visit.
I didn't know that saving trees was such a terrible thing to do, but here we are. It's 2022. The world is burning.
Yeah, we probably don't. The political podcast is a different podcast. We probably shouldn't go there.
Well, we're excited to be back for our 7th season of the pod. We've had a nice long break, much needed, since Clayton's season. We were going back to back to back for a while. So I'm feeling refreshed heading into this historical season of The Bachelorette.
And it is going to be a historical season because your Bachelor people are continually trying to find ways to mix it up and make life more interesting. So what have they done to us this time?
Well, we've got 2 Bachelorettes this season. We've got my girl, my favorite, Gabby, and Rachel, the pilot.
So, and because you and I are professional podcasters, we do lots of research before we actually get on and record our podcast. I did go back and to refresh my memory. Last season, Rachel and Gabby, I guess, were in the top 3, and with our friend Clayton, the big lug, and as I recall, Clayton was sleeping with everybody except the woman that he ended up with, Susie. Was it Susie?
Yes, that's correct. He is quite the intelligent man.
He's sort of a big lug. And as far as we know, Clayton and Susie are still together.
They are still together. You missed a big part of this. He also told both Gabby and Rachel, and then also Susie, that he was in love with all of them. And he told Gabby and Rachel that he was in love with all of them at the same time. He also broke up with Gabby and Rachel at the same time. So they are used to doing things together at this point.
So now if you go to ABC's The Bachelorette page, and I guess I watched their 30-second video of, I guess, commercial, and it says they're like best friends. I'm not buying it. I'm sure they're friends. They went through the Bachelor season, but they're best friends? Come on, give me a break.
I don't know. I feel like they have some trauma bonding. You go through something traumatic together, it brings you closer.
So, as you said, this is a historical season. These 2 young ladies are going to be meeting the same guys, we assume?
Yeah, we don't really know the breakdown of the show. I have no idea, how it works. Will Gabby have a set number of roses to give out? Does Rachel have a set number to give out? Do they have to agree on who goes home every week? How many hometown dates do they each get? How many fantasy suites do they each get? I have no idea. So it makes it more interesting. It's not the same formula that we're used to. We're keeping things spicy.
So these young ladies just finished being on the Bachelor show with Clayton. Clayton said that he loved each of them. Clayton spent the evening with each of them in the fantasy suite. Are these ladies really looking for love? Are they looking for men? Or is this just an opportunity to do some interesting travel and to do some branding here?
Can it not be both?
I don't know. Maybe it could be both. I struggle to understand your generation. This is not how true love is supposed to come together.
Well, I bet that you didn't think that true love was coming from apps either, and that's how a majority of people date now, via the internet.
Yeah, this is true. I would not have suspected that. These wacky apps.
So I think that they're both genuine women. They're looking for love, but they're also taking advantage of an opportunity that's been placed at their feet. Why wouldn't they? Pretty sure they each get paid like $100,000 to be the lead.
Well, see, I don't know how the money changes hands as well. They're paid actresses as well.
They're not actresses.
Well, they're getting paid to be on this show. I mean, they
They're
might be
getting paid
actresses.
to
I
do
don't
a
know.
job.
Okay. Okay. So do we know any other details about this upcoming season? Are they back at the Bachelor Mansion somewhere in California? Do we know if there traveling? What do we know?
Well, we know they're starting at the Bachelor Mansion, and I have heard rumors that a lot of the season was filmed on a cruise ship. This is also something that's new. Could be very interesting. Could be terrible if people start getting seasick. I'm not sure how rose ceremonies will work with sending people home on a boat that's potentially in the middle of the ocean. A lot is up in the air here.
Maybe it could sort of be like the Titanic, where if you get sent home, you have to go like down like to the lower areas that where the peasants stay, and you don't get to come back up to the nicer decks.
That could be it. You don't get to see sunshine or get fresh air until Gabby and Rachel find love.
And we've had some COVID issues with cruise ships. We could have just like we could have a floating mess.
Well, I feel like we would have heard about that by now. I probably would have heard if that became like a quarantine cesspool. So I think we're good there. But let's dive into who Gabby and Rachel are real quick, because I've got some fun facts to talk about.
Well, throw them out.
So let's start with Gabby. She's 31 years old, and she's an ICU nurse at UC Health, University of Colorado Hospital. And did you know, in 2021, she was named the co-winner of the Pop Warner Humanitarian Award for her work on the front lines during the pandemic.
I didn't remember that. When I was going back and looking, and I didn't do the extensive research that you did. I just looked at their bios on the Bachelorette website, and I couldn't remember what Gabby actually did as a vocation. So I'm glad that you reminded me.
Yeah, she's the first woman and the first NFL cheerleader to get the award, because it's usually given to NFL players. So speaking of, she was a cheerleader for the Denver Broncos because she lives in Denver, Colorado, but she no longer cheers for them.
And during the program last year, she didn't strike me as the cheerleader type. She was sort of a fun, goofy type person, and a little unusual type person for this type show. I mean, she doesn't come across as just the model type. She seemed like a pretty real, interesting person.
Yes, her grandpa describes her as a lovable dingbat, and I think that hits the nail on the head there.
Okay, so we've got one lovable dingbat.
Mm-hmm. She also dated Dean Ungler. You're not going to know who this is, but he was on Rachel Lindsay's season of The Bachelorette. So she dated him while they were in college. So she's like got into this Bachelor family early, before it was even a Bachelor family. And she's also very funny. She's a good follow on Instagram. I follow her. She likes to poke fun at herself in the show. So I recommend giving that a follow.
Okay. Well, I like someone that's got some humility and has a self-deprecating sense of humor. So all right, good for Gabby.
Yeah. And then Rachel is 26 years old, same as me, flight instructor, and she lives in Clermont, Florida, but she's originally from Chicago. She has her private pilot license, so hopefully she can, redeem the lead being a pilot, because Pilot Pete was such a disaster. So low bar, but hopefully she can surpass it. She attended Ohio University, where she was also a cheerleader. Fun fact there.
Okay.
She, I don't really have that many other fun facts about her. I was getting them from her bio from last season. She could live off flaming hot Cheetos, can't wait to read Harry Potter with her kids one day, and once organize a flash mob in high school. And you'll remember from Clayton's season, she loves to whisper. She's always trying to whisper to Clayton on their dates, and it was really weird. I don't know if she was trying to be cute or just hoping that the mics wouldn't pick it up. I didn't love it, so hopefully she's not whispering as much this season.
Well, she's not competing against 25 other women this season, so she's. But what happens if Gabby and Rachel like the same person?
I don't know. That is one thing I'm worried about. I don't want there to be any girl fights in the season. Like I don't want them to be pitted against each other. I want it to be a supportive situation. Hopefully they don't have similar tastes in men, but they have dated the same guy before, but I don't know. I don't see them going for the same type of guy. They seem different to me.
But you and I both know that if the Bachelor producer type people have any say in it, there will be girl conflict. They live for the conflict.
Yeah, but they're doing all their promo stuff right now, and they're definitely angling it as they're still friends. They still hang out. I actually have a good friend who was in Nashville the other week and was at a restaurant and sat down at a table right next to Gabby and Rachel having dinner. Just the two of them.
Brush with greatness.
Yeah, so it seems like they're still hanging out. So I think that's promising.
Okay, and I assume that are they taping the shows now? Have they already started taping the shows? I mean, usually the end is live, but
no, Dad, this is all done.
It's all done.
It's all done.
All done.
Well, I mean, after the final rose is usually live. They haven't probably filmed the men tell all, but Gabby and Rachel are either engaged or have a boyfriend or are single and didn't end up with anyone. It's all done. It's in the books.
Okay. Well, sometimes I assume that it started earlier, might still be going, and finish the taping sometime during.
No, they're filming Paradise right now, which I know you won't get into, but I am excited for.
Okay. Well, no, we're going to have how many men that we have to give consideration to here?
I believe 32. That's what you mentioned earlier.
That's a lot of men.
That is a lot of men. I've started going through their bios. We do have some smack to talk next time we meet.
Okay. So when does the actual series start? When are we starting to watch this on television?
The show starts July 11th.
Okay.
So we are in countdown mode.
It'll be over before Monday Night Football starts, all right?
I have no idea.
Okay, sure. That's early mid-September. So I'm assuming that they will be done by then.
I don't know. It sounds like we might be cutting it close.
They don't want to go up against Monday Night Football. Let me tell you that.
I think that they have different audiences.
All right.
Well, we're excited to get into this season. Join us next time as we very kindly judge the men of Gabby and Rachel's season and make our picks. You'll get to hear all of our thoughts from the right perspective and my dad's.